What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check updates, the two new upcoming packages, the physical infrastructure package, and the next stimulus package, the American Families Plan, which we have just had a major announcement on by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and the Democrats and President Biden, which we will be hearing from directly from the president in this video regarding the major announcement on the next stimulus package. It is basically almost double the size we were expecting. Yeah, they've thrown everything and the kitchen sink in there, at least size wise, for this next stimulus package. Wow, it's absolutely crazy that I was not even expecting. I mean, I tend to be an optimist. There's a lot of pessimists out there regarding stimulus, and I always thought there would be a second stimulus check, and there was. I always thought there would be a third stimulus check, and then there was. And I always thought there would be a fourth stimulus check, and we will find out. And now they have announced the size of the fourth stimulus package, and it's massive, $3.5 trillion. Yes, in fact, the third stimulus package was only $1.9 trillion, almost double the size. We're going to jump right into it. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's jump right in. Don't forget to hit the like button, and here we go. So yeah, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has announced a $3.5 trillion spending plan to pair with the physical infrastructure package, which is part one. They're saying that just the second part, the human infrastructure package, which is part two, or the social infrastructure package, the next stimulus package, is going to be $3.5 trillion alone. And he says you add that with the $600 billion of new money that they're spending in the bipartisan package, you get to $4.1 trillion. Really, when you add that with the $600 billion they're spending of old money, it's actually about $4.7 trillion. Now, to be fair, this is still up for negotiation. This can end up being less than that. However, kind of the amazing news that we were blindsided to is Senator Joe Manchin has said he's open to a $3.5 trillion deal. And remember, Democrats are going to pass this deal on their own. So they don't need a single Republican vote. So all they really need is the Democrats to agree to this. And moderate Democrats like Senator Joe Manchin are already saying they're okay with $3.5 trillion as long as it's paid for. And Senator Joe Manchin is saying he's open to $3.5 trillion. So really, in essence, from a first glance, $3.5 trillion looks like it actually could hold at $3.5 trillion, which is, wow, that's a lot. In fact, here's what Senator Elizabeth Warren has to say about this. Senator Elizabeth Warren, if you've been watching this show for a while, you know she's been one of the ones that has really been pushing for stimulus. In fact, she's actually one of the 28 senators, which is more than half of the Democratic senators, that is actually in favor of a monthly recurring stimulus check to be included in this infrastructure package, not just a single stimulus check. There's actually a plan that she is actually the co-author of here by Senator Ed Markey and co-written by her, Elizabeth Warren, that is for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks that would go until the pandemic is officially declared over. Again, this is co-authored by Senator Elizabeth Warren. She is also the co-author of the bill by Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Ron Wyden, where they have unveiled a plan to increase Social Security benefits by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. The plan to provide more than 60 million Americans with additional Social Security benefits. The plan is part of the Senate Democrats' bold Phase 3 stimulus proposal. Both of these items, number 2 and number 3 here, are two of the items that could be included in this $3.5 trillion stimulus proposal. Monthly stimulus checks, which is really an extension of number 1 here, just a single stimulus check, a forced stimulus check. Monthly stimulus checks would obviously be monthly stimulus checks, which is really kind of the same thing as a child tax credit, which are basically monthly checks going out to children. It's a check from the government every single month. The child tax credits just happen to be only for children. Of course, they go to the parents. They don't, the check goes to the parents. They don't actually send checks to 2-year-olds or 5-year-olds. Monthly stimulus checks would be for everybody that likely qualifies for the third stimulus check, or maybe for everybody except for children, something like that. We don't know qualifications or anything like that. These are all the things that are on the block that have been discussed to possibly be in this next package. Medicare expansion has kind of been leaked by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to be included in this next package, to include hearing, dental, vision, hearing aid, dentures, and possibly lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60, will probably be included in this $3.5 trillion stimulus package, possibly also lowering prescription drug prices. I've seen a lot of your guys' comments saying, yeah, our prescription drug prices are out of this world expensive. We might see that paired in this package, as well as with that new presidential executive order that President Biden just signed. Hopefully that will go a long way towards lowering prescription drug prices here in the United States. But all of these different items have a chance to be in this next stimulus package when all is said and done. Remember that all of these items are up for negotiation literally up until the day they sign it by both the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They can change it, and we've seen this from the second and the third stimulus check package. The third stimulus check package, the House passed the bill, and then the Senate changed it. They literally removed the $15 an hour minimum wage. They added in that $10,200 unemployment tax break, of which people are actually receiving checks right now. In fact, I've seen comments down below in the comments. In fact, comment down below if you're receiving your $10,200 unemployment tax break check. Some people are saying they're literally receiving checks like $2,000 or more. I've seen some people saying they got a check for $2,000. Some people say they got a check for over $3,000. Wow, absolutely crazy. The IRS is saying, they used to say the average check was around 1,000. Now for the second round going out, if you had unemployment income from last year, it basically makes the first $10,200 of unemployment income tax-free. They're sending out the second round of these checks right now. Some people are saying they're getting more than $2,000 checks from this stimulus provision that was added in the third stimulus check package after the House passed their bill and the Senate amended it and added in that last minute stimulus provision change. So any of these stimulus items that I just showed you on that list can be added in until the last minute. In fact, the second stimulus check wasn't even in the second stimulus check package. They wrote the bill without a second stimulus check in there, and the support and the outcry forced them to add it in there. We literally had senators and people saying, listen, guys, there's so many people that are going to wring our necks if we don't add a stimulus check in there. We're going to have to take the money away from states and cities. We're talking about $160 billion here. We're going to have to take it away from states and cities and give it to the people in the form of the second stimulus check. That's literally what happened. And they did it 6 days before they passed the bill. They had to literally rewrite the bill, take the money away from states and cities, $160 billion, and give it to the people. So like I said, now is the time to make your voices heard. Email your senators and your representatives, the president, call them, leave messages for them, tweet them, email them, whatever you need to do, because they will literally change the bills. We don't know what's in there yet. We're going to be finding this out. But here's what Senator Elizabeth Warren had to say about the bill. Check this out.
On the left, obviously, you had Bernie Sanders as the chief author of this, as Budget Committee Chairman. I interviewed Elizabeth Warren earlier today, who really embraced this and also gave a little bit of a clue of the fights ahead to make sure beyond that top line money, the money gets to various Democratic priorities. Here's what she told me about where she wants to make sure it goes. I don't hear any disappointment from you that this number's not bigger.
Look, I'll always be pushing to make the number bigger. But right now, my job is to say, that's a lot of money. And I want to make sure it's there to cover childcare, in a meaningful way, high quality, available childcare, and that it's there to hit on the climate crisis. So now we're down into okay, we've got a top line number. It really becomes what we can do for the American people. This is our chance.
So you hear a little bit of a preview there of the debates ahead amongst and between Democrats. And one thing that Senator Warren said there that I don't think anyone will disagree with is this is a ton of money. I think that's what we're watching for when it comes to the Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema side of the picture. Manchin said he really wants to make sure that this is credibly paid for, that it's paid for all the way through. Kyrsten Sinema, by the way, saying even less than that, essentially that the top line number here doesn't really matter. She wants to see the breakdowns for how money gets to Arizona. And as you said, obviously, Republicans aren't really part of this discussion. They can sit on the sidelines. They can snipe at what is in this reconciliation package as it starts to come together. But whether that number is so big that it scares away some of the perhaps more moderate Republicans who might otherwise want to spend the money that's set aside in the bipartisan deal remains to be seen.
Like I said, now's the time to tweet Senator Elizabeth Warren, tweet Bernie Sanders, tweet Joe Manchin, remind them about Social Security raises, forced stimulus check, Medicare expansion, free college, all those things on that list. Now is the time to remind them. I don't think everything's going to make it in this package. To be fair, we're not going to get everything, so let's not be too optimistic. Okay. And there's going to be more packages after this. In about 2 months from now, on October 1st, they get more reconciliation cards for the new fiscal year. There will be more packages passed. Until the midterm elections in 2022, the Democrats are going to pass more packages. So there will be more packages. I expect probably 2 or 3 more packages after this. So whatever kind of doesn't get put into this next package will be passed after this. And here's what kind of some of the Republicans are saying about this package. Mitch McConnell blasts the $3.5 trillion budget deal. Yeah, would you have expected anything differently? If it's pretty much at this point the Republicans just hate almost anything that the Democrats do, and the Democrats pretty much hate almost anything that the Republicans do. And here's what President Biden had to say about this.
Well, we're going to talk about infrastructure and how we're going to have to widen this room so you all can get in. I want to thank you for being here, all of you, to discuss an issue that has been always bipartisan for the longest time. When I got here 180 years ago, it was a bipartisan issue. Mayors and governors, more than anyone else, knows what it means to be accountable to people, and you have to solve problems every single day in your communities. And there are no Democratic roads or Republican bridges. But there are families in need of shorter commute times, safer commutes. Kids need to be able to drink clean drinking water. It doesn't have lead in it. And communities need to have reliable transit systems. And we have a chance to solve these problems, a bipartisan chance to solve these problems, create millions of jobs, literally, not $7 an hour jobs, even $15 an hour jobs, but jobs at prevailing wages, making $46, $50 an hour with benefits, and and a chance for America to put ourselves in a position we can begin to win the second quarter of the 21st century, because our infrastructure relative to the rest of the world is we're falling behind. I found it disturbing to find out that they ask if you name I think it was 25 best airports in the world. The United States wasn't mentioned. It wasn't a single U.S. entry. So, but fixing the broken today is okay, but we got a bill for tomorrow. There's a lot we're going to do. And press is tired of hearing me say this because I've been talking about infrastructure for a while now. Hopefully it won't be like the last team in here once a week and not get anything done. But we're going to get something done. And that's why I think that my Build Back Better agenda is all about. Not just building back, but build back better than what we inherited. And mayors and governors, you know how to get this done. And what we have to do is time to stop talking about it, time to get you the resources. But what I want to talk about today is what you need most and what you think will work the best. And so that's what we're going to be talking about, and hopefully we're going to get a lot done. So thank you all for coming in.
Do you need to do more work on the pay force, Mr. President, or the pay force? You didn't mean that.
He's talking about, I went up and spoke to the Democratic caucus today, and we put together a plan that dealt with infrastructure. And it's a bipartisan plan. I think we're in good shape. There may be some slight adjustments of the pay for us, and that's going to get down to what the Congress wants to do. I've laid out how I think we pay for it, and we have an agreement. We have an agreement. There may be slight changes. I'm not sure what may happen, exactly how, but it's going to be paid for, and that's what we're going to do. So thank you all very much.
Okay, couple things to note here. Number one is they could be voting on the infrastructure package deal as early as July 19th, which is a few days away. Okay, number one there. Number two, Republican Senator John Thune warns that the $3.5 trillion deal, the next stimulus package deal, complicates the infrastructure package deal, part one. I do agree with him there. I almost kind of feel like, and Nancy Pelosi kind of started this, I do feel like it's almost kind of like looming over the Republicans' head that like, hey, we want you to agree with this part one deal for $1.2 trillion, but then whatever like we didn't get in that first package, we're just gonna kind of put in the second package here. And there's a lot of Republicans saying, well, why are we even making this deal on package number one if they're just gonna take whatever they don't get in part one and just put it in part two? It could ultimately lead to the, package number one falling apart, but ultimately Democrats can just take part one and put it in part two and pass it in part two together. Now that might lead to some delays and it might make people like Senator Joe Manchin unhappy. Ultimately, they could still pass it as long as everybody votes for it, which can still be done. Some Democrats say that should have been done that way anyways. People like President Biden do want to work with Republicans. People like Senator Joe Manchin do want to work with Republicans. So I do think it kind of complicates things. I personally think it would have been easier and quicker to take that bipartisan infrastructure deal and just pass it, get it done. And they actually could have just been done with that. They could have actually voted on that like this week and had it done, and then worked on the next stimulus package. Some people say, why is the stimulus package coming second? I get it. That's just kind of the way it happened because remember, they passed the stimulus package before, and it really wouldn't have made sense to pass a stimulus package and then have another stimulus package come right after it. Because if that was the case, you could have just made the other stimulus package bigger. Because why would you pass a stimulus package and then just have another stimulus package come right after it? You would just make the other stimulus package bigger. So it's kind of like, yeah, you pass the third stimulus check package and then you go on to work on something else because you just passed the stimulus package. So they're working on the infrastructure package, right? If all that kind of makes sense, right? So that's kind of the way the timeline works. Okay, so they passed the third stimulus check package. They got the third stimulus checks out there. They got the child tax credits out there, which are kind of going out now and going out tomorrow. And now they're working on the infrastructure and then now working on this next stimulus package. So remember, Republicans didn't even vote for the third stimulus check package. Not a single Republican voted for it. In fact, Mitch McConnell blocked the standalone bill for the $1,400 checks that Republican former President Donald Trump wanted. A standalone bill for $1,400 stimulus checks. So most Republicans don't even want any stimulus at all. And Mitch McConnell pretty much single-handedly blocked a $1,400 stimulus check. So most Republicans don't want any more stimulus at all at this point. Mitch McConnell single-handedly blocked the Cash Act that former President Donald Trump wanted. He said, hey, this $600 stimulus check should be more. The second stimulus check should be $2,000. Nancy Pelosi said, great. They passed it in the House with Republican support back in December. Mitch McConnell said, no, I don't agree with this, so I'm not even going to let it go to a vote. And subsequently, they lost the Senate, and Republicans lost the Senate. Mitch McConnell lost the lead, and then President Biden came into office and then passed the $1,400 anyways. So that's kind of how the way the cards have fallen now. So The Democrats then passed that $1,400 stimulus check anyways, and then went on to the next package was the physical infrastructure package, and then part two. So yeah, I mean, you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. So the good news is that there is $3.5 trillion stimulus package coming with, and you've seen that screen here with all those different stimulus items in there. A lot of potential in there. There's a lot of money for stimulus type items, possible for stimulus checks in there, possible Social Security raises in there, possible Medicare expansion in there. They've kind of alluded to that's already going to be in there. I think that that is a long awaited change. Both Democrats and Republicans have been trying to put that in there for years. Hopefully, there'll be lower prescriptions in there as well. I've seen a lot of you guys' comments that prescriptions are hundreds or thousands of dollars, and a lot of you guys can't even afford them. Hopefully, that'll be in there as well. I think there's a lot of much needed changes that are stimulus type items that are going to be in this package as well. There's going to be a lot of breaking news going on about this package, so don't miss any episodes. New videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. After subscribing, click the bell icon that appears to, and then click all notifications to get reminder notifications when we go live with new videos. I'll keep you up to date with everything stimulus related and what is going on in our country. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. This bottom video is about the new checks that are going out through different stimulus check programs. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income by selling products on Amazon FBA, and I teach them how to do that. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.